22nd of November I started a new sketchbook, and on the 17th of April I finally finished it. I did manage to finish my previous sketchbook, my second one, in around October, early November time. The one that I started in April of 2020, and I showed it a little bit in my first sketchbook tour. I couldn't do a tour of that one because it's almost 200 pages and it would take too long, but I have posted quite a lot of the pages to my Instagram, if you'd like. But I now have this little sketch pad, which was originally 3 sketch pads that I had back in 2017. I just sort of glued them together and rearranged the pages a bit. So there is a little bit of art left from 2017, but I didn't manage to keep a lot of it, if you want to see it. But most of the art is from November till April of last year and this year. So the front cover, I was originally going to paint it, but obviously it's just the 3 covers from the sketch pads glued together a little bit. Did some small sketches of like flowers and brambles. This is a windmill. There's quite a lot of windmills in here actually. This is actually a snowdrop, which is probably my favourite flower because they're just so like seasonal and like nostalgic to me. These are just brambles. I needed like some sort of like something that could like go around like that because I wanted to try that pattern. I was planning to paint it, but like I think it just looks nice on its own like this. Quite like simple and like sort of scrapbooky-ish. On the first page we have this little sketch of an eye. This is basically normal black pen with pink highlighter. I'm sure you're supposed to do the highlighter first, but still it's a nice way to sort of define edges and make things stand out. Next page we have Merlin, aka Colin Morgan. This picture is most likely heavily referenced. I tried my hand at realism, but it still ended up looking very anime-esque. Realism is my weakness. Here's some OC sketches, sort of headshots. I tried drawing them in a more realistic style, or hyper-realistic style. They are vaguely referenced to a small extent. Appearance-wise, they're not exactly based off anyone in particular, but a lot of inspiration was taken from like mood boards and Pinterest. Again, if you're a big follower, you probably recognise this character. She's basically my spin on Lady Macbeth from Shakespeare. If you know what TGIF is, you know exactly what this is referring to. Since this was made in like December, so it's sort of more of a Christmas themed drawing. The quote is "Alleluia sounds through the earth and skies," which is a quote. It's a lyric from We Three Kings, which is a Christmas carol. This sketch is sort of symbolic of purity and cleansing of sins and purging the soul. Very TGIF inspired. But here, this is one of my OC characters. Her name is Lane Lacuna, or Lacuna Lane. I have drawn her a couple times, mainly on Instagram. I try to give the shading more detail, sort of try and improve on my blending. I'm proud of how the eye turned out, but obviously with like the skin tones and the hair tones, I'm on a bit of a pencil deficit. But yeah, this one's sort of inspired by medieval art from medieval illustrations and illuminations. These are my OC characters again, Crimson and Centurion. I'm not really proud of how this turned out, but the butterfly looks cool. This is like a little sketch of my Among Us character. I usually play as white, if not yellow, pink, or sometimes black. Also, my favourite hat is the flower, because then I can like hypothetically look like the innocent flower but be the serpent under it if I'm the imposter. Speaking of that quote, here's a direct illustration of that metaphor. Obviously the quote is from Macbeth, as you probably know me, I'm absolutely addicted to that play, but I'm quite proud of how this turned out. Here's my attempt at realism. Again, I try to draw a mouth, sort of cherry, rather than just drawing eyes all the time. I'm proud of how the highlights turned out, although it doesn't really look that realistic. It still looks very sort of cartoony, anime inspired. I'm proud that I could sort of achieve a higher level of detail in a drawing for once. Here's another attempt at realism. I'm not really that proud of how the strawberry turned out, but the chocolate looks kind of nice. She's a little rough around the edges, but I'm kind of proud of how it turned out, nevertheless. Still looks kind of tasty though. Finally, here's another realism. This one's a cupcake. I think it's a blueberry cupcake, which is strange as I'm not a massive blueberry fan. I don't like raspberries. I'm proud of how like this area has turned out. I'm not really a big fan of how the icing turned out. I felt like the blending could have been improved a lot more. Here's Hildegard von Blingen. If you know what bardcore is, it was a massive thing in 2020. Still is. You probably know who she is. She's a bardcore artist. She makes bardcore and she's also an illustrator as well. She's probably my second biggest inspiration after Judi Dench. She's allegedly just Hildegard von Bingen, but with sunglasses, because she's Hildegard von Blingen. That makes sense. I wasn't sure what colour the eyes were, so I just did them every colour. Looks kind of nice though. Here's a sort of more Christmassy themed drawing. We're still in December, so there's still some Christmas. I wanted to draw something that I was really rubbish at, and in this case it's cars. And I added a Christmas tree. This is referenced from something I saw in a snow globe. Not my snow globe, but a snow globe. But speaking of snow globes, there's an actual drawing of a snow globe. That's probably where I got the inspiration from. Got a small house and a small Christmas tree and a little snow globe, sort of like a wintry inspired. Next one, also from Christmas Eve, although the focus isn't Christmas this time. This was for the 8-year anniversary of the episode Diamond of the Day, which was from the show Merlin. This is Morgana this time, and this was on the day that marked 8 years since the final episode. This one looks like art block to me. This is a sort of small comic based off a true story. This is with my OC characters. Crimson, Centurion, Blair. I'll read it if you want. I think I can still do the voices. My, you do look very fine indeed and will grace every court in Christendom. What's Christendom? The entire population of Christianity. I'm an atheist. You? Agnostic. Oh, what's agnostic? Agnostic front? That's what I was thinking. This comic is kind of based off a true story. When I told someone that I was agnostic, and then they asked agnostic front, I said yes. Also on the theme of religion, this is a biblically accurate demon. Unlike angels, demons aren't actually described in the Bible, but of course they do look scary, but they can shapeshift into attractive beings to sort of like lure people into temptation. Angels are the opposite because they need to look ferocious in order to scare away demons. And that was from January 1st. I think this was my first one of 2021. And speaking of angels, here is a biblically accurate angel as they're described in the Bible. There are actually 3 types of biblical angels. This one is called seraphim. This one, again, this one looks like art block to me. This one's more of like a wheel of Ezekiel, and there's a little balloon there. This one's sort of inspired from Sherlock Holmes, Hound of the Baskervilles. This is a massive spoiler. The guy who's obsessed with butterflies, his sister, who actually turned out to be his wife, this is her. This is sort of inspired by her. I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but some Shakespeare art here. This is Ophelia from Hamlet. Her hair's not actually supposed to be this pink. It's actually more of like a strawberry blonde. In my interpretation, she's definitely strawberry blonde, but I didn't have the right colour. Well, this was when I had new pens at Christmas, so I was just sort of experimenting with them. I actually digitalised this piece as well. Here's Hildegard again, sort of experimenting with different styles like highlighters, fine liners and that. This one was actually an observational drawing from still life. I don't usually do that. These are actually ornaments I have on my shelf. Here they are. Colour matching was a bit difficult, but I think I managed to pull it off a little bit. Here's my OC Crimson. This is sort of probably one of the most detailed drawings in here. Probably one of the drawings with the most detailed backgrounds in here. Sort of inspired by like medieval illuminations and tapestry art. I think the background is heavily referenced as well. And here's another one. I don't have any gold leaf. I tried using, this is actually nail polish, I think. It's a replica of a gold leaf, but I'm not sure if it really exactly worked, although it gives a bit of a more metallic effect, whereas pencil doesn't. This is Lady Macbeth, obviously set before the events of the play, so, or maybe during, because I got the famous "unsex me" quote here. Here's another one. This is Ophelia this time. I don't know why I made her hair so pink, but yeah, I'm quite proud of how her curls turned out. This one's probably my favourite out of the 3. I used gel pen this time for the gold leaf. There's Rosemary. That's for remembrance from the famous flower scene. And here's some OC art. Some sort of character descriptions here for any newcomers who want to know more. I've got Ari. He's like mature, brave, sometimes short-tempered. Centurion, very jovial, courageous, but very curious and intrigued quite a lot. Some more Pierre, Crimson, she's like the calm, wise, sort of spiritual. Fleur, sensitive, caring, very faint-hearted though. Got Marcy, which is my persona character. Shy, creative, smart, my friend's words, not mine. Saren, confident, flirtatious, honest. Magenta, she's like passionate, sweet, daring. Lola, friendly, curious, quirky. Naya, relaxed, shy, reliable. Here's it's an octopus, this one. It's an octopus. That's all I can say. I wanted to try drawing octopus for the first time. I had like watercolour background. Quite makes a nice effect actually. Looks kind of like the ocean a little bit. Here's another one sort of similar to that, but I went a bit more full with the watercolour. This is Starlight Glimmer. Best pony, I must say. Try to do sort of a galaxy inspired background with her. She has a little flower crown. I messed up on the hair, so I turned it into a little flower crown. Ooh, more Shakespeare art this time. This is Lady Macbeth, also known as Gru. This is sort of like after, or maybe during her sort of like guilt realization phase. I don't know if this is a spoiler or anything, but here lies King Duncan. I'm sorry. Quite a hard hit. Ooh, more pony art. This is Izzy Moonbow. She's from the new Generation 5 sneak peeks. Oh, I absolutely love Izzy. She is adorable. Try and mimic the tennis ball on her horn. New pens, and they lay out really nicely, and I'm really proud of how like the shading turned out. Here's another sort of like watercolor, like line art drawing. This is like a street. I wanted to practice drawing backgrounds again. Sort of like French street inspired, with like the cafe and like the pointy shape language. A little pet shop as well. Ooh, here's a butterfly. This takes me back to primary with like folded butterfly patterns. Yeah. This is basically just ink and wash, but like watercolor on top as well. A little bit acrylic paint, but mainly watercolor. I'm trying not to put these ones in focus too much, as I don't want to leak. I know, just in case, I don't want to like leak my fingerprint out to the entire universe. But these are basically just fingerprint ants. Just wanted to try out drawing some fingerprint ants. Not really proud of how they turned out, but they were fun to make. Here's another Shakespeare character. This is Ariel from The Tempest. It's actually just normal fine liner, but with some glitter in, but coloured in with like blue glitter glue. Here's some windmill silhouettes or wind turbines. I don't know what it is, but everyone says that windmills look ugly. But I disagree. I think they can make some really pretty landscapes and like really define some landscapes. Plus you get renewable energy as well, so win-win. Ooh, here's another pony art. This one's Pip Petals, again from Generation 5. Although Izzy is my favourite, I think Pip Petals might be I might be leaning closer to her, I don't know. This is sort of like another pen sketch. I wanted to experiment with blue and red ink. Basically, well, the way I do it, I put the red ink in sort of the warm areas and the blue ink in the cooler areas, or maybe more contrast in light. I did a picture of Fluttershy in this style, and I think I posted it on my second channel as a time-lapse last week. And here's more pony art. This is Mazzy, my pony. Well, Mazzy has a pony, and this is actually my sister. Well, an OC I made for my sister. Not Crimson, my sister in real life, my actual sister. We're all just chilling together here. I actually made this on International Siblings Day. I didn't actually realise it was International Siblings Day until after I finished it, and I was like, wow, that's cool. So beyond this page, I have some old art from 2017. Since these sketchpads are originally from 2017, I still have some of the old art in here. So if you want to have a little look, here's a little divider. I got this one. This is Crimson, or Pony Crimson. I think she's like standing on like a hill, and there's like a ship over there. Maybe it's Centurion ship. I'm guessing it is. It's obviously unfinished. I think I only got up to the line art, but I never really did finish a lot of drawings in 2017. These traditional drawings. Here's another one. This is more pony art. These are actually mailing characters. I didn't actually realise how much I drew mailing characters. This is Queen Guinevere and Lady Morgana. I did them as like ponies. I'm not sure why Hakima was a yin yang. Probably because she was good once. There's like good and evil, and she was good at one point. Yeah. I think that one's from the summer of 2017. I think these are all from the summer of 2017, so like August, July time. More pony art. Here's Princess Twilight. It's actually coloured in with crayons. I don't usually use crayons anymore. Pencils are usually my go-to colouring base, but I quite like how it turned out. It kind of looks like a stained glass window a little bit. Here's some OC original art. Here's Archtech. She was an OC I had. She was a sailor. Might bring her back though. She's cute. I think I showed this before. This is Aaron as Count Dracula. Flair is a fairy princess for Halloween. Adorable. Finally, we have this one, which is my very old OC. Build me a shrine. 4 years later, I still haven't built that shrine. Guess I better make a start. It's been 4 years. I guess I better make a start on that shrine. And that officially marks the end of this tour. Thank you for coming along. Comment what your favourite drawing was. I'm quite proud of that sort of more abstract art I did. I really like how the medieval inspired illuminations turn out. I want to make more. I really need to make more. But with that, thank you for watching, thank you for coming along, and goodbye.